Welcome to another edition of Prometheus Eats with me, your host, Despina Chrissochos. Today we are making Spanakopita, a traditional Greek dish that is made in every Greek family. For our ingredients today, we are going to need chopped spinach, scallions, pecorino romano cheese, feta cheese, ricotta cheese, eggs, dill, phyllo, olive oil, and salt to taste. To start our recipe, we need to first prep our ingredients. So first we are going to chop our scallions into nice even sizes. Not too big, not too small. About medium in size. Next, finely chop your dill and set aside. I like using different bowls just to separate my ingredients. So for our green ingredients, we are going to have our scallions, dill, and chopped spinach. I'm using frozen chopped spinach in this recipe for the ease and convenience of it.
Yum, 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 yum,
Our
yum,
cheeses
yum.
are feta, ricotta, and pecorino romano. Now to bring our greens together. In a frying pan, you are going to add about a tablespoon of olive oil and heat until hot, but not too hot. We don't want to burn our
It
scallions.
made my face red.
Yeah? So to test my oil, I'm going to put in a few scallions, and when I hear that beautiful sizzling sound, I know that it's ready to go. I'm going to add my scallions and lightly mix them until they become translucent in color. I am then going to add my frozen chopped spinach. If you want even quicker cooking time, you can actually defrost or thaw out your chopped spinach overnight in the refrigerator and then just squeeze out the moisture. But I find that to be a very messy step, so I just add the frozen spinach directly to the scallions and I cook them down until there was very little to no moisture left over. When the scallions and the spinach have cooked and married together, I'm going to then add my dill for a few seconds and then turn off the heat. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees. While your spinach mixture is cooling down, you are going to mix together your three cheeses. Again, our cheeses were the feta, pecorino romano, and the ricotta. Incorporate your eggs. I used 5 eggs in this recipe to help bind it all together. You're going to add your cooled spinach mixture to your cheese mixture and mix until it's fully incorporated. You want to be as even as possible. Always taste test your product. Sometimes the feta is not salty enough, sometimes it's too salty. If it needs a little salt, add a little salt. Not too much though. You don't want people being thirsty after. Mix everything all nice together. If it looks too dry to you, you can add a little olive oil, but the recipe comes out pretty nice that you don't need to. Now we need to set up your baking pan. First, you're going to brush olive oil on the bottom of your baking sheet and then layer with 1 sheet of phyllo dough. You are then going to brush with olive oil and put another layer on top. If your phyllo sheets are too big for your baking pan, then just fold the edges down to make it as nice and clean edges as possible. You're going to do this until you've used 5 sheets of phyllo. Next, add your Spanakopita mixture. Again, being careful to evenly distribute all of that beautiful mixture along the edges and the corners. You want every bite to have this beautiful filling. Next, put a layer of phyllo on top, brush with olive oil, and do this again for 5 sheets. Don't worry if your phyllo breaks on you, it happens. Just make sure that you love your product. No one's ever going to know that you had a broken piece of phyllo because when it all bakes together and the phyllo rises, it just looks gorgeous. You need to pre-cut your slices. Don't cut all the way down, just the top layers, and brush lightly with olive oil. Place into your oven at 350 degrees for anywhere between 50 to 55 minutes. Depending on your oven, you might want to check it at about the 50-minute mark just to see if it has the golden color. If the top of the phyllo has that nice golden color, then it's ready to be taken out. Let it cool just a bit until you slice into it all the way down. Remove from the pan while it's still warm and serve to yourself or your guests. I hope you enjoyed this edition of Prometheus Eats and making Spanakopita. If you like this episode of Prometheus Eats, please make sure to like and subscribe to our Facebook page, channel, and support us on Patreon. And leave us a note in the comments if you tried this recipe and how it came out for you. Enjoy! Que kali όρεξη!